on this next part, it says, how do I find the volume of a cylinder and the volume of a cone? Now, when we find the volume of a cylinder, notice it gives us a formula. It says V is equal to big B times H. So we need to find big B. So remember that big B, I'm going to write it right here, just means the area of the base. And then we have to find H. And when we find H, remember H is just the height. So if we find the area of the base, that's going to be pi r squared. And then height is just represented by the letter H. So what we first got to do is recognize our bases. So I'm going to say, okay, well, this is a base. And this right here is a base. Now notice this goes from here to the edge. So that's a radius. So I am going to need that number for the radius, right? So we're going to do this just like we did the circles. First thing we do is always find the radius. If it's a diameter, we have to cut it in half. And if it's a radius, we're just going to go ahead and substitute it into the formula. Do remember that when you're looking at a circle, that if you have a diameter, it looks like a Pokemon ball, right? And remember, the diameter divided by 2 equals the radius. And remember that if you're given the radius, that's equal to r. Alright, now with that being said, we already have our r, we have our radius, so we're going to go ahead and use our formula here. V, right, is equal to pi r squared times h. So that's the same thing as saying V equals big B times h. V equals big B, which is pi r squared, times h. So I'm going to write this all out. So V is equal to pi times my radius. My radius is 6, so I'm going to put a 6 in there, squared, times the height. Now for the height, we have to look, what is the height? What is the distance between here and here? The distance between the two bases. And notice that it's always written out on the outer edge. It says that it's 7. So we're going to put a 7 inside of there. And then we have V is equal to, and we can put this all in our calculator. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll put this right down here so you can see exactly what I put. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pi, and then we're going to have times my radius, which is 6, put my caret key and put the 2, and then another set of parentheses, and we're going to put the height, which is 7. And the parentheses just tells the calculator to multiply. So I'm going to hit enter. Notice it gives me 791.68. We are going to round to the tens place. So because 8 is greater than 4, we're going to round that 6 up to 7. So 791.7. So 791.7. And this says km. So it's km cubed. I'm going to box that. Now I do want you to remember that we're trying to figure out how many little cubes can fit inside of that soda can. So notice it's not a power of 2, it's a power of 3, because that's what a cube unit is. It means it's 3D. Keep that in mind. And up here, if this would look confusing to you, right, really all we did, I'm going to rewrite this formula. Really what we did is we said V equals big B, which this down here is big B, times H. And that's exactly what we had up there. So notice I just had the H's run all down, the big B ran on down, and that was our final answer.